Thank you so much.
Well, I let you introduce your talk yourself.
Sure, yes. He did it well. My name is Helen Lundström Erwin, and I'm so excited to be here. And oh, you have the same slides as me. Perfect, good. So, I am here to talk about our international community and the Foremothers Café. So let me just get started on it. So, there are no more borders in the metaverse. Let's just pause for one moment and just think about that. How amazing that is. Just think of the potential for connection. And if you also think about how we've already done this already, online, on Facebook, on Blue Sky, on Instagram, on, give me another one, Instagram, Blue Sky, Facebook, yes, yeah, we're already connected online. So there are no borders. And on Discord too, chat rooms. So I don't have a clicker. Should I tell you when the next slide is, or? Perfect. Just tell me what to click. Green? Green is the next, okay, yeah. But as we all know here, VR is spatial. We're literally sitting in the same room, sitting at the same table with people from all over the world. And we can travel back in time too. This is important to me for several reasons. Some are very personal. I'm going to try to unpack it. So I'll start with my work. I'm a historical novelist, and I write stories about people who lived a long time ago. And to me, it's very fascinating to learn of their politics and the discourse at the time and their social trends, and especially why they thought the way they did. And women voting, for example, it was scandalous. I mean, just look at this one specifically. What are the wild wives saying? Or this one. Do you want one at home or one who's on the street? I mean, it's pretty amazing, right? So yes, it's personal to me. But history can inspire too. I wrote a novel about women's history, and I created a VR world. And in my VR world, it's called the Foremothers Café. It's inspired by the cafe in my novel. And it's set in 1918. And that's important for a very interesting reason. In 1918, Sweden had its only nationally organized march for women's rights, or for women's voting rights. But they had already worked for a long time to get this to happen. But when they finally marched all together in 1918, they won the right to vote the next year. And then they voted for the first time in the next election in 1921. And we shouldn't forget that I'm here in front of you because our foremothers did this. They worked for us, so I can stand here in front of all of you. Thank you. And can I? Thank you. So can I ask the team a question? How do I scroll down on this? But I should be able to ad-lib it, so we're okay. So what I didn't expect with my little cozy cafe was that it would become its own community, just like the women in my book who formed community in the cafe from the novel. The people that come to the Foremothers Café now, like all of you can, we have formed our own community. And it's absolutely amazing. It's changed my life, really. And we've made friendships from all over the world, and we make deep connections. And every Thursday we meet and we have fika. And you will see what fika means here, but I need to click on the video here. And so maybe if I just do this, it will start. Yeah.
The founder of the Foremothers
there's no audio.
And what we love here at the Foremothers Café is that we're from all over the world.
Thank you.
In the Netherlands.
Hello, my name is Diana Jerry from Kiambu, Kenya. I'm happy to be at the cafe.
Hi, I'm Jerry Price. I'm in North Carolina, and I'm glad to meet you all today.
Hi, I'm Edward Alvin Jacob. I'm from Montreal, Canada, and I enjoy being here with everybody.
What brought you to the Foremothers Café?
Well, I heard about the camaraderie and the discussions I found very interesting discussions. So that is what brought me here. Is we exchange different views from different places.
That's great to hear. And Jerry, what brought you to the Foremothers Café?
Well, actually, Edward mentioned it to me. I decided to come here just to see how it is, and I kind of got to meet everyone here, and we had some interesting conversations, and I just kept coming back. And when you come back, we have a great time. And we do, other than have discussions, we do trips around the application. We do field trips to various places. It's very interesting.
Thank you. And Diana, what brought you to the Foremothers Café?
Yeah, so first of all, I was through the events on Engage, and I come across a name Fika. Fika is also a Swahili name, which means reach or get to. So in my mind, I wondered, is this a Swahili event in the Metaverse? Got my attention. And I decided next Thursday, I'm gonna join. To my surprise, I found different people across the world. And Helen from Sweden originally was the one leading the event. And so she explained to me, Fika is also a word that means meeting together or having a coffee together, a cup of coffee together. And yeah, I just love coming here and sharing my views of different topics, and getting to hear also what other people think about everything that's going on in the world.
That's so nice to hear, and thanks for reminding us about our Fika connection. And Ruben, what brought you to the Foremothers Café?
So I had no idea what Fika was, so I find out. And then I stayed for the great conversations, meeting a lot of people in the great atmosphere of the Foremothers Café.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And did I remember to say that New York in the beginning?
I don't remember.
That's a good question.
Me neither.
That's my favorite part. It really shows how we all know each other, and we did this, I need to record this, and everyone's laughing, oh, I don't know, and we just had a good time. And this is really kind of the spirit of the Foremothers Café. And this too is personal to me, because I'm an immigrant myself, and I know what it means to come into a new community and new culture that you don't know anything about. And it's actually quite amazing to do it. I feel like I'm living two lives in one, because you learn so much from each other, and it's very enriching. I get to share my culture with my new friends. They get to share their culture with me, and it's very enriching, and this is my passion. This is why I want this to be an international community. And this brings me back to history again, too, and to virtual reality. Let me see. Do this here. Leaving your homeland is emotional, like I said. You leave behind a very big part of yourself. But did you know, can anyone guess how many people left Sweden in the 1800s, in the 19th century? How many people? 2,000. More. 100,000. More. Almost a quarter of the Swedish population left. And depending on the weather conditions and how far away from where the ship would leave you lived, it could take 6 to 10 weeks. And let's see, and here we are in VR, right? This is what I'm coming to. Let's see, let me just do that and here. So, but if we go back to history, they left their country behind, and they usually never saw their homeland again. And there's a famous book series about the Swedish immigration experience, and the last book in the 4-book series always cuts into my heart. It's called The Last Letter Home, and the connection was lost. And we're not talking about email here. Like, That was it. And here we are in VR, and we're sitting at the same table with our friends, friends who live all over the world. And let me see, this should...
I'm Hans, and I'm living in Japan since 1999, an old Japan hand.
Hi, I'm Dee Dee Cheney, and I'm British, but I live in Malta.
What brought you to the Foremothers Café?
Well, I first saw the Foremothers Café on Immersive X. You were running an event here, and I just thought your work was amazing. I love folklore, I love heritage, and I really wanted to come and see what was happening. And it's an amazing place.
Thank you. And yeah, that was nice that we met. Then I remember that. And how it brought you to the Foremothers Café?
A friend on LinkedIn, he introduced me. There's another Swede on Engage, and I mean there are not many in the world, and even fewer on Engage in Metaverse. I had to go and find out who that was, and then I found this wonderful little Swedish cafe as well. So I'm quite surprised and happy to be here, sitting in Japan, but still in a southern Swedish cafe in 1918.
Yeah, that's nice. And you're sitting here in Malta.
It's amazing.
So I just want to ask you a question. So if we picture the 19th century again, what do you think people would have said a few years into their immigration journey if somebody had said, you know what, you can sit down in front of your sister or your mom or your dad or your friend at the same table, and not just once, but whenever you wish? What do you think they would have said?
No way.
Yeah, no way. No way, exactly. And we are doing this. It's amazing. And we're all people, right? Or as sci-fi nerds say, we're Terrans. And the only issue really, it's the time zones. And I have a friend who lives in Malta. Thomas knows her very well. She wanted to join Thomas's Immersive X Festival. And she's a morning person, but she wanted to join all of the sessions I had in this amazing festival. So she said, I drank 7 cups of coffee so I could go to all of them. And then she said, 7 was a little much. So I said, the next day I drank 6, and that was better. So thank you, Dee Dee Cheney Jones, for letting me quote you. I thought that was just amazing. But let's get a little more serious about this, and to bring it back to our borderless society. The world is changing. Our planet is not doing well. There's forest fires, sea levels are rising, there's fires, whole neighborhoods are disappearing, islands are disappearing, there's war and displacement, loss of culture, and it's very important that we each do our part to bring about a more inclusive society, because that's really what this is about. And we also need to live together. And humans, we have always migrated. It's what we do. And it's actually what makes us thrive and evolve. But now we have VR, so when we come to a new place, we're not strangers. We can all here attest to it, right? How many of you met people here that you've met in VR before, who you already hugged and already shook hands with? And just, it's amazing. And VR has that potential. And I think that's the best part with VR. And so what can we do together? I picture it like this. And just bear with me a little with this video.
Mr. Garibaldi!
I know. He said it'd be just a few more minutes.
Exactly what sort of demonstration does he have planned?
Unknown, he wouldn't even tell us. Just said it would showcase Earth's dominant belief system.
I don't hear any drums. Or bells. Or chants.
Are you sure that we've come to the right place?
That's it. I'm leaving.
This is where he said to wait, and this is where we're waiting.
All right. We're all set. If you'll come this way. This is Mr. Harris. He's an atheist. Father Crisanti, a Roman Catholic. Mr. Hayakawa, a Zen Buddhist. Mr. Rashid, a Muslim. Mr. Rosenthal, an Orthodox Jew. Running Elk of the Aglala Sioux faith. Father Papopoulos, a Greek Orthodox. Ojijiko of the Igbo tribe. Chukiak, a Yupik Eskimo. Sawa of the Hivaro tribe. Ms. Nkrumah, a Bantu. Ms. Chang, a Taoist. Mr. Blacksmith, an Aborigine. Ms. Yamamoto, a Shinto. Ms. Naijo, a Maori. Mr. Go, a Hindu. Ms. Nkrumah.
So I'm not talking about religion here, but I think this example is beautiful. And we can do this in VR. Like, we're doing this. And imagine how, we already know, I don't even have to say imagine, how that brings us all together. We're here in Brussels, and we're from all over the world, and we have a passion to make the world better with virtual reality and XR. So I think our potential is amazing, and we should stick to this. I know it's hard, people don't always understand what VR is, but we're doing this, and let's do this, because we can do this. We can change the world. And I think we really are changing the world. And I just want to give a little shout out for you all to come to the Foremothers Café, and where I get to share a piece of my culture, which, as you say, is a Swedish Yuletide concert, and it's a beautiful tradition, and we were the first ones ever to do that live in VR. And one of our singers sitting right there, Christine, and please come. It's on the Engage platform, and next week at 19 if you live in Europe, and at 1 p.m. if you're living in the US or on the East Coast, or not the East Coast, 1 p.m. ET in the US or on that side of the globe. And so this is it, but first, do you have questions, anything? Please feel free. And
so it's not actually a question. I just wanted to add to the conversation in the next cafe, because I come from a town in Italy, Bergamo, and we have Santa Lucia as our, it's like more important than Santa Claus in the Christmas. So I wanted just to add this.
I'm so glad you said that, because it's very interesting, because it is actually, it's actually inspired by the Italian saint, Saint Lucia. And what's interesting is Sweden is a very secular country, but we have been inspired by this, and this has become a uniquely Swedish tradition. It also shows the borderless society, how we have adopted this, and now it's our most treasured Swedish holiday. And there's some Swedish folklore that's part of it also. But
in my house, we have a doll of Santa Lucia from Sweden.
Oh, you do? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, really? Oh, my God, that's amazing. So please come next week. Of course. Yeah?
Any more questions from the audience?
Thank you so much for the talk, Helen, and thank you for running the Foremothers Café. I was wondering how long you've been doing it and how frequently you have these ficas.
Oh, wonderful. I started with, the cafe opened in May 2022, and I started ficas, Ben helped me remember, 2023. Yeah, it was our second fica anniversary this fall. And my first guest was Ruben from the Netherlands. And he came, he was the only one first. And then he came every week. You saw him in the video. And he comes every week unless there's something special, so he can't. And then more and more came, and now we're this amazing little community.
That's
so
amazing.
I love your question.
Congrats.
What? And I met him in real life yesterday. And we actually reenacted the way we sat, because we all seem to take the same seats whenever we sit at our long table. And I always sit at the head, and it's not planned, it's just like that. He always sits there. So we reenacted the photo. I should have put that in there. But I had to get the presentation in time to these guys. Otherwise, that would have been perfect. So we met in real life for the first time yesterday. Glad you mentioned that.
Hello, Helen. Thank you so much for the beautiful talk and the lovely ideas behind bringing people together. I know that you started out building the Foremothers Café, as you mentioned about the book, to sort of highlight your book. And then I believe the Ficas came next, correct?
Yeah.
And now it's expanded, though. You do other events. Like the Lucia, but also there was a lovely May Day event, and there was a lovely Mothers Remembering event. How many events do you have now, and and what are your plans for the future?
Oh, I have so many plans, and I realized I didn't. Let me get back to you. You asked how many times we do this. Every week we have Fika. I don't know if I answered that. And yeah, I have a lot of events. Every month we have a discussion, a community discussion. So I have a special guest that comes, and we pick a topic. And a few months ago we had somebody who spoke about the overview effect when you can see Earth, like astronauts, they see Earth from space. And we had a woman talking about gender discrimination. We had an anthropologist come and talk about, I can never pronounce this correctly, mitochondrial Eve. Did I do it right? I did not do it right. I did? Good. Yeah. So, and she is actually all of our foremother, an African woman who we are connected to through the mitochondria. And he came and talked about that, and then we all discussed this. So that's once a month, and a different topic every month. And you said Foremothers Day is on my mom's birthday, November 30th. Thomas joined us, and we all get together and we talk about our foremothers. Because even though the foremothers are historical foremothers, inspired my book and the cafe, we're the ones who are going there. So it's an event where we all share about all of our ancestors together. And we had a beautiful event. It was really beautiful. One of the photos was from there. Let me see if I can go back to that. Yeah, that one. So you see we're all standing there and we're sharing photographs of each other's families. Yeah, you're right. Allison, too. You're right. Oh, yeah, you see, exactly. And can you guess how many countries we had represented there that day?
Oh, gosh. 5?
8. Yeah. And that was really cool. So thank you for that question. Did I answer all of them? I can't because we still have the tech rehearsal, but okay, let me say it. Yeah. So the Ella Karlsson, who is the head of the Swedish Space Agency, and not only was she the head of the Swedish Space Agency, she lived in Utah in the moon simulator. So, yeah, she doesn't have a headset. We're going to have a tech check, but it should work. So she's coming. We'll make sure she comes. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Helen, thank you very much. I love the presentation. I was wondering, it sounds like you have a lot of different countries, obviously.
Yeah.
What about countries that it's not as accessible for them, like in a headset? Like, how can they also come to?
Oh, that's a great question. Yeah. We're on the Engage platform, so you can actually join on your phone. And Ella Karlsson, for example, even though she's the head of the Swedish Space Agency, may join on her phone. And if you we connect, we often collaborate with XR Girls Africa and Africa VR Center and Campus. And many of them live in smaller villages and they don't have good internet. So they often join on their phones. So you can do that. So you don't have to have a headset to join us. And you can join on a PC or a Mac and, on your phone even. So.
Helen, thank you very much
You're
for
very
this beautiful
welcome.
final session of today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.